We're having fun talking about her crack. She calls that a cracker. It looks like something I would clean my sink with. But then it also makes me think, when I first saw her eating it, I thought it was a cookie. Because I saw it at an angle, right? And it just looked like she'd eaten a cookie.
It's a Pop-Tart without the pop.
It does kind of look like a Pop-Tart without the innards, right? Just that. If you took an outer shell of a Pop-Tart, that actually sounds kind of good.
Ooh. It's like basically like a puff pastry.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Ooh.
But you're saying that is not. What you're eating is actually a plain sourdough cracker?
Correct.
And
I just wanted something crunchy.
Interesting.
But hold on, wait, is Aries here?
He might be lurking. He said he was gonna be lurking tonight because he's got stuff to do.
Aries. Oh, also, go follow DGamer Aries.
Mm-hmm. And go follow Banana Tom. Banana Tom, dude.
Tom.
Your stream today, you were popping off, man.
Yeah.
Double digits for a lot of the time, 10 and 11 viewers. And you're up to 71 people now, 71 followers, 70.
Yeah, good job.
Big props to you guys.
Congratulations. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we were lurking while we were having our little business meeting. So
our Storm Saga Games / Bandwidth and Banter meeting. Speaking of that, going forward in the future, BT, when we get a chance, I want to coordinate with you your schedule so that we can schedule our Wednesday or Thursday B&T TTRPG chat, which this is. We want to try and schedule it around you. Like, we want to make sure that we're not overlapping on you, because it means a lot for us. It means a lot to us that you want to be there, and we want to be there in your stream too. So I know there's no worries, but I really would rather schedule it. And honestly, because of the way you do your schedule, there's no reason why we can't. Hi, Star Kitty. There's no reason why we can't schedule it around you. Whether we work a little bit earlier and have our TTRPG shot earlier than your stream, or like now where we have it in between, your stream and my evening stream. That way, we can, just help each other build. That's the goal. So lifting up everybody. And I realize that there's going to be overlapping streams for like Aries, although he's tried to really work around our schedule too, which is amazing. But there are lots of people on our network that can't. There are certain times they have to be able to stream, and so there's going to be overlap. But now Star Kitty missed the beginning part. She's asking you what you're eating.
It's a sourdough cracker.
I didn't even know such thing existed.
Sourdough cracker.
I can tell you right off the bat that Star Kitty is going to be jealous of that right now.
Here, let me go. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go throw some cheese on this really quick because it is a little plain. But I will grab the cracker container. I'm pretty sure it's sourdough. I'll have to double check, but I'll be right back.
All right. So, hi guys. So, back to what we were saying. I know you can, Banana Tom, but I don't necessarily want you to. We'll figure it out. Let's just, tomorrow, I mean, if we have time today after this, I'll be happy to help you with your tech issues. I have some ideas about your tech issues that I'm pretty confident we can solve why your stream keeps disconnecting. And I knew you were super jelly, Star Kitty, because you love you some crackers. So, and on that regard, Banana Tom, when we talk the tech issues, we can talk about schedule and stuff. There's no reason why we can't make it work. I definitely want to make it work. On that regard, speaking of schedules, one of the big things that Druid and I were chatting about today was figuring out the best way for us. Hey, Lucy, the devil has arrived. You're not a devil. You're an angel. You're still the archangel of light to us, buddy. So, Druid and I were talking about how we're going to schedule the TTRPG talk going forward, and today we're doing it like this. But in a couple of weeks, when we have our next one, we're going to host it on Druid's site. So basically, when we have the TTRPG version of Bandwidth and Banter, it's going to be streamed. Oh, wow. Never seen that before, that brand. Must be something intrinsic to the East Coast. Interesting. Don't have stuff like that here in the South.
Bougie out here.
I was just telling them that you and I chatted, and we want to have.
I had the headphones on. I gotcha.
Oh, you did.
I heard.
Yeah. Our RPG talk we're gonna have twice a month, and it's gonna be, when I say hosted, that's the wrong way, because obviously there's hosting. It's gonna literally be streamed on Druid's channel. I'll probably host it on my channel, right? But that way we can help build up her channel and spread Stormkeep out even further.
I can go into mod view.
But yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna and it gives her some time to set up our cool little overlays and transitions and stuff for Bandwidth and Banter. So be looking out for it, guys. Depending on her IRL schedule, it'll either be on a Wednesday or a Thursday. And so once we have worked out the deets with the BT man, by the way, I do want to, you guys might take note that I have made Druid and Banana Tom mods. So you moderators, you have fellow mods, new mod fellows. But honestly, it's been a long time coming. I probably should have done it for Druid a long time ago. I don't know why I didn't. It just stuff in your head, just stuff not thinking about, just like get busy and no big deal really. She's already an integral part of the D&D stream, and she's an actual literal partner in Bandwidth and Banter. It wouldn't exist without her, and I wouldn't want it without her. And so it was dumb not to have her as a mod. And Banana Tom, we made him a mod because holy crap, he's just prolific at Stormkeep. He is. Yeah. He's like the foundational architect of of the keep. I don't know. That's a bad analogy, a bad metaphor, but like he's just this amazing person who's always here to Stormkeep with us, and his joy and personality are infectious. We love his content and who he is, and we just yeah. So he's the banana. Yeah, he's the banana to our fruit bowl. The person who is terrified of bananas.
I had bananas and peanut butter for breakfast today.
You did?
Yeah.
Poor Banana Tom. Forgive us for snacking in front of you guys. It's super casual. Our TTRPG talk will always be kind of super cash, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's gonna be very casual.
In fact, I just made it just chatting instead of podcast, since technically speaking, I mean, I guess it is still a podcast. I don't know. What do you think? Should I put it in podcast category instead of just chatting? That's a hard one, huh?
Yeah, that's tough. There's actually a part of me because there's a streamer that I follow. He's called the Playmat.
Uh-huh.
And he streams under the D&D category, but he does world building and stuff.
Mm.
I don't know if there's like a basic TTRPG category. No. But
Yeah.
no. Okay. So just chatting is good, I think.
Okay. All right. I mean, obviously, the interview Bandwidth and Banter is a podcast, so we'll be doing that, in the podcast category from now on Fridays. And speaking of Fridays and Bandwidth and Banter on Fridays, tomorrow we have
Insomnia Night.
Yes, the Insomnia Night RPG, man. We can't wait. He's I gotta admit, as a fellow DM, I'm impressed. I have watched some of his streams, and I'm impressed by the tech that he uses. I'm impressed by how much fun and how much he engages with his players. I'm impressed that he juggles 6 players. I'm impressed that he's literally juggling 6 D&D campaigns. 3 of them he's a DM for. So it's pretty spectacular. I see you're using his emote. So
I may or may not have subscribed to him.
yeah, I think he's actually live right now. So that's the only reason why he's not here.
I think he is.
Is he, or was it Bro? I think never mind. I think it was Brodicide that I saw.
Brodicide did go live too.
Yeah. So, at any rate, we're looking forward to having him on the show tomorrow. That reminds me, that's one thing that we didn't talk about. We need to reach out to him one more time to confirm time and everything.
Yeah. I'll reach out to him. Actually, I'll do that right now before I forget.
Yeah, do it right now. That's fine. I'll get us started on the TTRPG talk side of things. I believe last time that we chatted about ability scores, correct?
Correct.
And did we already have on our agenda what we were going to be talking about next? And those walnuts were not a satisfying snack.
Yeah. So we talked about the skill point increases, the level caps for those. We discussed I think
I'm here. I'm just getting a snack.
No, I know. Because we talked about. This is why I need a separate notebook for just the TTRPG chat. We talked about skill level up and all of that. I think I might have to look at the Google Drive. Insomnia Night. We're still down for tomorrow, right? We were just talking about you.
Yeah, we were literally just talking you up and how amazing you are and how impressed we are with your stream and your tech and your capabilities as a DM and as a player and as a. I think you must be an android or a robot to be able to keep track of stuff. But we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because we don't want to ruin any of our questions for tomorrow. But I'm chaos. I don't know. I think
I have been dubbed the Queen of Chaos. So
I would second that dubbing. I would.
Yeah, I have been dubbed the Queen of Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
So, your Discord's fun, Insomnia Night. Hold on really quick. I really do have to just anybody who just wants to nerd out about D&D, for the love of God, please go follow Insomnia Night, join his Discord. It's absolutely just one of the coolest Discords I've seen in
For RPG stuff, yeah.
For RPG stuff, holy crap. Honestly, please, guys, go give Insomnia Night all of your money after you go follow D Gamer Aries. But we just want to confirm. I was just about to message you. Tomorrow. We're on for tomorrow still.
Yep. 2 p.m. Central Time, right, brother?
Noon Pacific Standard.
Excellent.
Cool.
We can't wait. We spent a goodly amount of time today crafting our questions for the show. So
very excited.
Yes.
Very, very excited.
Jinx. Hey, I said it right. I didn't say jinkies this time.
I may or may not have shown a couple people your dab attempt.
What? Oh God. Hey, I can actually dab when I want to. I think.
I know. That's why it was such a good clip, because I know you can dab. Had to prove it. I had to prove it.
All right, so back on topic. It's cool that you're here today, Insomnia Night, because like we've discussed, there are 2 primary facets to Bandwidth and Banter. Actually, it's more like a primary and a secondary. The primary one, obviously, is our interviews that we're going to be doing every Friday, which we have lined out for quite a few weeks now, which is amazing. And but the secondary kind of component of Bandwidth and Banter is that we want to that she and I are going to brainstorm together with the community ideas to develop our own custom version of a TTRPG. We've already worked out some deets. I don't remember if you were here. Was he here for it the last time we did that? I don't think so. We've already worked out. What are you have the notes handy, right?
I do. I do.
We've worked out I remember last time we talked, the main thing we worked out was we came up with new ability score names. And I believe we came up with,
because you wanted it, so I keep calling it a point allocation system.
Right.
And that is an incorrect term to use, but that's what I keep saying.
No, I think that does work. What did I have it?
No, because I kept calling it a point buy system.
Right.
But then we were like, no, point allocation system.
Yeah.
Into the ability scores.
Right. To clarify for Insomnia Night, the main reason why I want to re-evolve our own kind of custom version of D&D or something, it's not a custom version because we're going to do our own thing. It's still going to be a D20 based system, just to be clear. But, with the whole kind of drama and fiasco that happened with Wizards earlier this year, we want to shield ourselves from that ever being a thing. And so we thought, and honestly, all my life since I've been a DM for a ridiculously long time, I've always thought that there should be a system in place where you get ability score increases every single level. That's just kind of my own personal philosophy. And so last week we created a system that works. It makes sense in mathematics. Now, it means that the early game will be a lot harder, but that the late game, you're going to be pretty OP, because by 20th level, all of your ability scores will be at 18 to 20. But that's kind of the dream, isn't it? The dream is that you're going to be this superhero from level 15 to 20. And heck, even from 11 to 15, you're going to be pretty strong, like somebody rolled crazy well on their rolls. But instead of rolling ability scores, we created a point allocation system, and it's basically I don't want to go into it because you can check out the VOD. We do have it, not the VOD, the YouTube video on our YouTube channel. But and we will talk about it more in the future for sure, maybe with you sometime. But that was the kind of the main reason I wanted to go in a direction and to rename things. So last week we renamed all the ability scores to something that's, you know, kind of still very fitting, but has a different name, so it can't ever be thought of as an intellectual property infringement of any kind. And so, what was the topic that we talked about before that? Do you have that on your notes? Or was that the first time that we actually got into it? Wow. Sorry.
The only TTRPG chat we had was about the point allocation system.
Okay.
And we haven't really dove that much deeper into it. It was just mostly the last time we mostly just talked about like the point system, and then we renamed the things. So yeah. That's as far as we've gotten.
Well, did we make a note of what I wanted to talk about next time? In your notes. Look at us just snacking away in front of these folks. You didn't realize you guys were coming to watch us do ASMR eating, did you? You probably can't actually hear that, so. Wow, did you go mute?
I did, because I was still chewing. In the notes, we talked about the next thing that you wanted to talk about was different metalla types for allowing different levels of magical enchantments.
Okay.
But that's what's in the Google Drive.
Okay. Cool. Well, we can talk about that, and I also want to talk about, if we get to it today, hit points, because I've been thinking about that recently.
Do you want to start with the hit points thing first before we switch over to like the metal
types?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I guess so. So we don't forget about it. Just to make sure that we don't forget about the metal type thing, because although this might end up being a lot tougher to talk about. Well, that's all right. We'll broach the subject and see if anybody has any feedback or see what you guys think. So, just to clarify, for most people that don't know this, it's easy to misconceive hit points in Dungeons and Dragons as your literal kind of health points or life points. But technically speaking, they aren't. They're a mixture of things that are meant to be a mathematical representation of like luck, survivability, toughness, ability to take hits, you know, things like that. Hey, low life, greetings. I should say, hey, raccoon, not hey, you low life. Sorry, I do that every time. But I should re-nickname you Trash Panda. I'm just kidding.
Trash Panda.
So the reality is that hit points are meant to give you a representation of the idea that there are these moments where in combat where maybe you just took a smaller hit than would have been fatal or debilitating, right? Either you dodged a little bit, or the armor deflected it, or you just got lucky, or you can take a lot of hits, but they're like death by 1,000 cut. There's just like a whole bunch of small wounds. None of them are fatal. None of them hit an artery. The concept of hit points is just a mechanical, mathematical representation of that. But the reason why there's a misconception that hit points are meant to denote health points is because you get a bonus from your constitution to your hit points, which makes sense, right? Because if you're healthier, you're going to be a little bit tougher, right? However, here's the thing that people forget about, and that's that if these hit points slash health if these hit points are not health points and they're designed to be kind of a mathematical abstract equivalent of your ability to survive in combat, then one of the things that should also be attributed in those hit points is oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh my gosh, sorry. You okay?
Yeah, I just saw a notification on Insomnia's Discord. It just caught my attention. Was he posted that we were live over here?
Well, thank you, buddy. I don't know what to say.
So,
I appreciate you.
That's what that look was for.
Greetings, Rovendir.
Rovendir.
So what was I saying? I lost track of what I was saying.
Hit points, ability to take a hit, constitution.
Yeah.
You're
so
breaking down the mathematics of it.
And that also, besides your health point, how healthy you are from constitution, it also should factor in willpower, right? Because sometimes you're able to will yourself to be tougher, right? And so,
yes.
So I guess what I'm getting at, kind of a long story short, or short story long kind of thing, is that one, I want to rename hit points to survival points. And two, I feel like the boost to them shouldn't just come from I forget what we named constitution, but it shouldn't just come from constitution. It should also come from your wisdom, right?
So from what we have is we have the brawn, agility, vigor, intelligence,
right,
willpower, and charm.
Yeah.
So you would want it to come from vigor and willpower.
And technically speaking, it should also come from agility, right? So we need to ask ourselves, though, since we're breaking a system that has kind of already existed and tried and true, what is it that we're doing? Is it going to make the experience of gaming better or worse, right? And so if we let players add in when they're creating their character and they're creating their survival points, if we let them add in their con modifier and their wisdom modifier and their agility modifier, that means they're going to have a lot more hit points.
Yeah.
So it means that they're going to automatically be quite a bit tougher. However, it occurred to me that this actually
Can I make a suggestion?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Because isn't it like most classes also, so like you have the choice of for like your AC in D&D, it's based off of like your dex or your brain.
The armor that you're wearing?
Yeah, so it's the armor that you're wearing plus your dex and like all this stuff. So like, what if your class can dictates like which of the like 2 of the 3 that you can pull for your hit points? Because not everybody's gonna be quick. Not everybody's gonna have the strongest willpower. Not everybody's gonna have the most vigor.
Right.
Depending on the class.
You bring up an interesting counterpoint in that which is something that's always been sort of a struggle with Dungeons and Dragons, right? And that's that on top of having hit points, you also have AC, right? Armor class in D&D, like a lot of RPGs, whether it be a computer RPG or console RPG or even some tabletop RPGs, don't do armor class the way that D&D does. In D&D, armor class is a number, an attribute that's set up such that it can allow you to avoid getting hit altogether, right? In some games, though, thank you, Banana Tom. That was awesome. In some games, though, armor class does not keep you from being hit. Instead, it reduces the damage that you take. But really, we're talking about, just fiddling with numbers and moving them around in different places. So it's not that the AC situation with D&D and hit points is a problematic one. It obviously works. Philosophically, it's sort of problematic, right? Because then how do you argue where you compare armor class to the fact that, okay, if your hit points are supposed to be something that's an arbitrary kind of numerical thing to arbitrate how you dodged being hit. Well, wait a minute, then why do I have armor class, which with dexterity in my armor class, right? Because that means that I dodged being hit. Whereas hit points are like, it's just taking away from this kind of abstract number concept to say, oh, I didn't take a fatal hit. So it's kind of an interesting interaction there. Hello, Fuzka, welcome. Low Life Raccoon is saying Hackmaster has a good system with armor. Heavy armor makes you easier to hit, like plate mail, making you slower. But the armor has damage reduction. Exactly, yeah. So you choose between being unarmored or lightly armored, and being able to dodge, or being slow and being able to soak damage. Exactly, yeah. But one could also argue that if you're super strong, then you can still dodge really well in heavy armor. So I don't know, there's lots of trade-offs here and there, philosophically speaking. Aries! Yes, you're late, but that's okay.
Really quick public service announcement to all of these beautiful people that are over here from Insomnia Night. Yes. Because Insomnia Night, we love you. Thank you so much. Everyone, in case you do not know, we are interviewing Insomnia Night tomorrow for Bandwidth and Banter. Also, we are also, on a side note, we are trying to get our dear friend D Gamer Aries. So please, if you would, go follow D Gamer Aries. We're trying to speed run him to being an affiliate. So if you guys could just pop over there, give him a follow, that would be super cool, because we want him to. Yes, we are totally trying to speed run getting D Gamer Aries to affiliate. So if you could do that for me, that would be so cool.
And please drop us a follow if you like that Insomnia Night brought you over here to us. Drop Storm Saga Games a follow. That's me, Stormy D. But also make sure you check out Druid IRL and Extirpate Fate in my About section below and follow them. This wonderful super green lady over here is Druid IRL, and she plays in our D&D stream if you have not seen it. So make sure you drop her a follow as well. We appreciate you so much. So well done on the PSA there. Well done. Good timing. So, wow, it didn't actually work. That's interesting. I wonder why some of them work and some don't. I'll investigate that. So, sorry about that, Razmataz. During our Bandwidth and Banter stream, because it's more of a, normally we do an interview, but sometimes we do this TTRPG talk. But we have the settings set such that there's no audio pop-ups for channel points. So sorry about that. Normally during my streams, I do have channel point redemptions that do cool things. So appreciate your understanding. Can Star Kitty, if you're available, or Dagoth, or any of you mods out there, Banana Tom, for example, can you refund Razmataz, please? That would be amazing.
We can also pause the sound requests too.
What do you mean pause them?
So we can pause them where people can't redeem them.
Well, I don't like. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go into the back end. I guess it's not that big of a deal, but I think we're okay. We can move on. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love how everybody's struggling to spell my husband's Twitch name.
Yeah. Benet Tom even got it wrong. He put extrapate. It's a hard word there. But looks like Dagoth nailed it. He knew how to spell it.
Dagoth got it. I forgot he's playing Sekiro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So,
Jeez.
anyway, back to what we're discussing. Survival points is really what hit points are in D&D. And so in our new TTRPG that we're creating, we're going to call them survival points. And I'm still back. There's another reason why I think it's a good idea for us to include agility, vigor, and whatever willpower was, probably willpower. And that's because, remember how we've created the point allocation system, right?
Yes.
At the early levels, you're going to be super weak. You're not going to have points to spend in con and stuff. And then during the first few levels, it's going to be a lot tougher. And so if we don't give them the chance to be able to add some hit points from one of those other categories, then it might be a bit too tough in the early levels. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if they're starting their first character and they only have 3 points to spend at level 1, then, there's going to be some characters like that are going to be tough to make work no matter what.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's something to discuss, and it's not something that I have solved. So maybe I can just broach the subject for now of where maybe another thing that we can do is make it such that all the character classes use the same hit die for simplicity's sake.
Mm-hmm. Insomnia asks, and I would like for you to answer.
Mm-hmm.
So will they start with 0? Is there a base to all stats?
That is a great question. The stats will all start at 10. So this is what we came up with last time we did this. Your stats all start at base 10 with the idea that base 10 is a normal average commoner, right? And at first level, you get 3 points to spend. You could put 2 points in one and 1 point in another. And maybe the race that you choose, I haven't decided about this yet.
Yeah, because we mentioned maybe having like some racial points too for the first.
Right. The only problem with that philosophically to me is, what if somebody wants to make a weak half-orc or a strong halfling? Like, there are exceptions to rules in everything in life.
Yes.
So it seems arbitrary that a particular fantasy race will be automatically prettier or faster or stronger or healthier or whatever, when the idea of making a character is to personalize it. So maybe we make it such that, any race has 1 more point to spend. So you basically have 4 points to spend. Well, but then actually we ruined the progression that we created previously. Well, no, we don't, because you're only getting 1 point at level 1 to spend.
Yeah, so you would have 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I do imagine like there's going to be like some races that have dark vision, like
Right.
the things that I really like, and that I think about when I'm creating a character is like, do I want to have, I can't type with a tri-tip in the hand. I am jealous of this tri-tip sandwich, just saying. So like one of the things that I think about is like, well, one of the reasons why, okay, first off, I really like, elves. I just would love to be an elf in real life. Little fun fact about me. If I could.
Except your headphones wouldn't fit on your ear then.
I would get personalized headphones.
Okay, there
work.
you go.
I would make it work.
I'm just messing with you. Go on.
We would make it work. But but the things that I think about are like the dark vision thing, or like, I mostly think about aesthetics.
Mm-hmm. Right.
like what visuals do I want for the character?
And you nailed it. I want to interrupt you for a second, because you nailed the reason why people are most players who start their RPG experience, that's the first thing that they think about. Not how can I min-max the crap out of all their abilities and their scores. They do that later on when they're more experienced, sure. But most of the time, not all, but most of the time, when people first start playing an RPG, they think about the aesthetics. I want to be a dwarf. I want to be an elf. I'm fine with human, or because I want them to be just like me, or I want to be like you're right. It's the aesthetics of it. So
yeah, and then like dark vision, or like, it's not so much like the dwarves get +2 to strength or whatever it is. I can't think of it right now. It's like, it's not so much of that for me. It's, it's the little things like dark vision and, aesthetic and like, I think it's cool that like, dark elves can't go out into the sun. That makes for a fun little, like that's a cultural thing for the dark elves being like, underground and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that I really like when it comes to like the different races. And it's not so much like because the dwarf is strong or the Goliath can lift twice, like lift you medium size or larger size based on, I want to be a
Herringon.
Herringon? What's that?
So
I'm curious now.
like that is going forward for our TTRPG, that we have multiple names listed that we're going to probably add to. No, he's going on base what he learned in Celestia, but see, that's the thing. If you think about it philosophically, in a way, there's sort of some inherent racism built into RPGs by saying dwarves are automatically having a higher constitution and elves are having a higher dexterity, and you're basically, what's the word I'm looking for when you're it's this sort of kind of generalizing. I mean, I guess when you could argue because it's a fantasy world that they evolved in different areas and all that kind of nonsense. But really, who cares about that crap, right? Really, ultimately, when you're making your character, if you want to make a beefcake Arnold Schwarzenegger elf, you should be able to freaking do that, right? If you want to make a squirrely little wizard half orc, you should be able to do that. I mean, I think that, ultimately, get to the chopper. So,
what's funny, hold on really quick, side note. I heard that, get to the chopper in Banana Tom's voice.
In Banana Tom's version of Arnie's voice, for sure, yep.
Yeah, so, fun fact, you've completely ruined all of Arnold Schwarzenegger is now in Banana Tom's voice in my brain.
Which is pretty damn close to the real thing, so.
Oh, but I don't even picture Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know, right? You now picture Banana Tom saying it. I agree. That's so true.
I'm not even mad.
So
not
anyway,
even mad.
So that's why I'm thinking that I don't like the idea of adding an arbitrary racial ability score bonus at the beginning of creation. I think you can pick whatever race you want. it should be an aesthetic choice, and maybe we come up with an interesting kind of thing that makes each race in different. Like you said, like a dwarf could have dark vision, right? That's not necessarily inherent. It doesn't have any kind of racist thing, because it's not saying, oh, this person is stronger, this person is smarter because of their race. It's saying, oh, well, because of where they grew up, they developed this ability that that's a little. I guess it's sort of similar, but it's a little bit different, right?
It's more like that cultural.
Right. Cultural or kind of just a biogenic kind of thing. So at any rate, so that's what we would want to do with the races. We'd want to, I know we kind of got off on a tangent talking about races, but the reason why I bring that up is that when you make your character at first, it's going to be pretty damn weak. If we're doing it this way, in level 1 you get 3 points to spend, and 1 point to spend from any of the races, not specific races, any of the races, and you can put that 1 point anywhere, then that means you're either going to have one ability score that's a 14 or 2 ability scores that are a 12, and the rest will be 10s. So basically at first level, you're going to be only slightly better than an average commoner. So every combat, it means that as a DM, when I make these monsters, I'm going to have to custom make monsters and make them the early levels far weaker. To balance it, right? Mm-hmm. But it does make sense now when you think about it that we do the make it such that your survival points aren't just from your vigor/constitution, right? Because when you make your character at first, you need to have more than one way to get a little bit of boost to your hit points. Now the question is, does it become later on game unbalancing that you're getting points from multiple different places? Or should we make it such that you only get to pick one of those that you pull from for extra hit points? Did we break the philosophy that way? Does it just mean that we need to, if you're able to add survival points from your agility, and let's talk in D&D terms just to simplify things. If you're getting survival points from your dexterity and your con and your wisdom, if you have high scores in all of those, is that going to be too game unbalancing, game breaking? That and Razmataz makes a very good point. Make it complicated and the barrier to entry gets too high. That's actually kind of one of, now I haven't played GURPS, I've heard of it and I've seen a little bit of it and I've read some of, kind of flipped through some of the books. I haven't played it, but I get where you're coming from. There are obviously systems out there already that exist that we could take ideas from.
Yeah, because I have the Pathfinder and the Palladium book system, and then actually tomorrow night a friend of mine wants to show me the Solasta game system, which is a TTRPG.
What do you mean, a friend of yours? Really? So Solasta is actually a CRPG that tomorrow night, me and Banana Tom and Star Kitty and we told you about that.
It's a different. I think I said it wrong. I have to double check. So this is my friend, Really Chilly, that we normally play D&D with them in our private game on Fridays.
Sure. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be. I was like, whoa, really? You could check out our stream. Lucy's going to be there too. You were attacked by a dog. I'm sorry, Lucy. That doesn't sound very fun. You are snackins, Lucy. So I was just like pleasantly surprised there, Druid, by what you said, because.
Wait, sorry. Nope. I got confused. It's called the Suede.
The Suede. Interesting. I've never heard of that. Is it a variation of D&D?
It's a different type of TTRPG.
Oh, just a different type of TTRPG. Huh.
Yeah, sorry, that was my brain
Oh,
getting confused
the
with all of
sway,
the
not
things.
suede, like SW.
Savage
Interesting.
Worlds, correct. So I'm going to be learning that one too.
Oh, Savage
So
Worlds. I've heard of it. I've never seen it. So is it that your Friday group stopped playing?
no, we're still playing. They do. They want to eventually switch from. Um,
Fifth Ed?
they do want to eventually switch from fifth ed, and they want to do. They want us to check out this Suede system, and I'm excited to be able to experience a different type of um
RPG system?
art. Yeah, just give it a shot, and that'll give me more perspective of things to think about when it comes to, because my only true genuine TTRPG game system that I've ever really like dove into and learned has been D&D. Whereas like Fate, he's played the
He's played Palladium, he's played Pathfinder, right?
yeah. Yeah, cuz like I've played a little bit of Pathfinder, but this was like, we were all, having drinks and talking shit, and like kind of like we were playing, but basically all I really did was just, turn tea into whiskey for people.
Uh,
You know?
Razmataz, the answer to that question is I would say that we're a good blend of both. If you check out our D&D stream, if you have time, but we do our D&D stream is Saturday nights at 6. It's possible. I hope we don't bump into Insomnia. I think he actually streams it after ours. It's later, but. Yeah, we just do right now. We're doing a fifth ed. It's a homebrew world that I've created, but it's a really good mixture. We use tabletop mat with figurines monsters like the ones I have behind me. But
I think Raz was more asking like when it comes to this system, is it more of like storytelling or is it more?
Oh, he's asking about the system we're creating.
I believe so.
I think it's going to be really similar to D&D. In fact, in a way, I really just want to, maybe I'm overcomplicating it a bit. I just want to have these discussions because there's a part of me that wants to just effectively, mostly just retool fifth ed as it is, with names and conventions that are our own. But
Does this count as a hand puppet for you?
Gonna use hand puppets. Yeah, so we're just I don't know. I could be overcomplicating it. We could just stick with the hit point system as it is, since we've already created the ability score system. But I do feel like because we make the early game so much more challenging, that it's a good idea to do this. And I don't think it overly complicates it. In some ways, it might make it simpler because it means that a new player can get some additional hit points regardless of what character class they are, right? Mm-hmm. It depends on where they allocate their points. Now, obviously, there's still going to be some classes that are not going to get any extra hit points from anywhere. If, like, for example, if somebody wants to make a bard and they put all 14 first level points into charisma, then they're not getting any extra hit points at all. But I love the question, Rovendir, but that's a big topic to discuss right now. It would kind of lead us off on a big tangent. I know what you're talking about, the new version of D&D, the mixed identity of it. Like, I get what they're trying to do to, I don't necessarily think it's important to separate the actions of the executives that run Wizards from the developers that work for Wizards, right? Because there are a lot of amazing, wonderful people that are working on D&D, and trying to evolve it and make it even better and more fun and more accessible, right? I think those are good things. Obviously, the executives who made their stupid ass decisions earlier this year burned a lot of credibility, but we need to separate the creators and developers from the dumbass executives. And so I've seen that they can make big mistakes. Fourth edition, in my opinion, was a big mistake. They saw that it was a big mistake, so they switched to fifth ed, and they did a really good job with fifth ed. It's become bigger than ever. And so I think it's possible that they can make 5.5, sixth ed, 1 D&D, whatever the heck it's called, they can make it a really good thing. So, I gotta allow something. That went by so quick.
I did it.
Oh,
I did it.
All right.
I'm a mod now. I got you.
Exactly, Insomnia Night. That's what we're doing here. Exactly. We're trying kind of automatically not automatically, I used that word wrong. We're trying to create our own version of D&D. Yeah. And which there's no reason why we can't. And they backtrack a lot of things, but they didn't scrap. I don't know if they've scrapped 1 D&D. I think they're still working on it. Their intent is to create a really high-end VR TT. So
Stormfinder.
That's adorable, Rovan dear. I appreciate the idea. That'd be yes, exactly. Insomnia Night. They want to create a VTT with microtransactions, and yeah, you're really good with Foundry from what I've seen. That's something we'll talk about tomorrow. I don't want to delve too deep into that because we don't want to ruin your interview tomorrow. But we're super excited about your interview tomorrow, Insomnia Night. Yeah, you're right. The Wizards wants to over monetize stuff by making a VR TT, and maybe Foundry is the way to go. I don't know. I haven't played with that tool myself. And yeah, their approach was terrible. Yeah. I don't know. But all these things are the reason why we're here today. Why Druid and I are deciding to come up with our own system. And we're just discussing the concepts of making an RPG system and the individual systems within that system to make them all work together and be fun and not game breaking. Yeah, I'm sure it will be pretty. Using the Unreal Engine 5, it will be pretty. So we'll see. Where were we? Survival points. I think it's going to be necessary for that to be the case, right?
Yeah. Jinx.
Go ahead.
So I think.
Cool, Insomnia Night.
Yeah, that's super cool. No, I personally like the idea of calling it survival points, but HP is like so universally understood as like, you know.
Yeah, there is a problem with calling it survival points too, and that's when you shorten it to SP, that can get confusing because some computer RPGs and console RPGs use SP as spell points.
Yeah, because I think that's the same thing. I think that's what they use in the Palladium system as well, is SP for spell points or something.
Really?
I don't know. Let me look really quick.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some more water.
You're all stuck with me.
Oh wow, crap. We've already gone long. You need to go soon.
I do, but you know, I can't. What sucks is like I can literally. We've already talked for like today for like close to 5 hours now, and I'm having so much fun.
I know you are, but I know you have homework to do.
I do.
And you know, you got Fate coming home in a couple hours, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm super excited for the no, the mod's taking over the stream.
Yes, I did, Aries. I did. I let her. We had a really long meeting today, but it was a great one. I don't want.
It was great.
I don't want you to think that I thought it was like long as in boring or long as it was. It was a great meeting. It was lots of fun. So, we'll be. In fact, Aries will be talking to you more about that in the future. So keep that in mind. With that said, guys, I know we're kind of leaving off on sort of a, not even a cliffhanger, we're just we're going to have to wrap it up though. I'll be streaming again tonight, Daggerfall Unity night, so if you guys are curious to see, we're playing Permadeath. I have to make a new character because we died at the end of the last session last Thursday. But be sure to check out our links below. Drop Druid and Fate to Follow, please. I do appreciate you guys. We will take up this topic again in another couple of weeks. It'll be on her channel. I guess we didn't get to the medals at all, but that's okay.
That's fine.
I think you're right. I think we actually came down to it needs to stay hit points or health points, maybe, right? Mm-hmm. Or something like that. But we can think about and discuss if we want to be able to add to those hit points, those health points from other ability scores. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you, Daddy Dagoth. Also, really quick, so don't forget, tomorrow for Bandwidth and Banter, we're interviewing Insomnia Night. So we're so excited. We're so excited. So excited.
We hope you'll be here. We kind of need you. We can't really interview you without you, brother.
No. I have a feeling we're gonna get along way too well.
Agreed.
And it's one of those things. I have this tendency of creating cults for things that I really, really like, and so there may end up being an Insomnia Night cult in my Discord at one point. Who knows? Basically, my D&D chat is dedicated to Rovendir, so you know. So I would have to make something separate for Insomnia Night. But we are all so freaking thankful you guys are here today. I know we kind of ended on a cliffhanger, but this is supposed to be a shorter little quick chat. But y'all are way too entertaining in chat, so how dare you?
Yeah, I know. How dare you be so amazing?
How dare you guys?
Please continue.
How dare you guys? Awful. Druid didn't choose the cult life. The cult life chose Druid. That is true. That is true. I have so many cults. The cult. I'm just gonna have to make it the cult lounge. Druid channel link, please.
Yeah. All right.
I
Gotcha.
You, Raz.
Can we get a shout out? You can shout out yourself, can't you?
That's the one person I don't like shouting out is myself.
Hey, Dagoth got it. There we go. and throughout Fate too, please. That's her significant other and our quad partner. And don't forget BT. All you guys. Oh, and another quick shout out to Insomnia Night since we're going to be interviewing tomorrow night. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our quick 1 hour session today. And I'll see you guys in an hour and 20 minutes for some Daggerfall Unity.
I will be in chat.
Fantastic. Doing homework.
Trying to do homework at that point.
All right.
But love you guys.
Love you. Bye guys.
Goodbye. Goodbye.